Starting a business in high school and university absolutely changed my life for the better. It's helped me financially, it's helped my mental health, and I honestly feel like I'm a new person since I began running my business. Hi, I'm Penny, the owner of 1 Cent Crochet, and today I'll be talking to you about why starting a business as a student is the best time in your life to do it. To start off, you will probably never have more time than you do now. This especially applies if you're still in high school. I'm aware most of you probably have a whole lot of extracurricular activities and sports, and if you're in your final 2 years of schooling, you're probably spending a lot of time studying, but it's probably likely if you're still in high school or university that you might not have your own kids to look after, or you might not have to pay all of the bills for your household. Sorry if this does not apply to you, of course, but I'd say the majority of high school students don't have the responsibilities that come with being an adult. And you might have more free time than you realize. In grade 12, I spent so much time studying so I could get the academic scholarship that I wanted to go to the right university that I wanted to go to. And that was the right decision for me at the time. But at the same time, I had picked up a new hobby to do in my own time, which was crocheting. Pretty quickly, I realized that I could turn this into a business if I wanted to. And so I did. So the first thing that I did to sort of get more time back in my day to spend on crocheting and running my new business was I kind of took out about 30 minutes where I'd usually just spend doom scrolling on my iPhone, because I certainly wasn't going to take out of the time that I spent studying, because that was very, very important, much more important than spending time on my phone. And in the grand scheme of things, 30 minutes a day really adds up when you're starting a business. Honestly, being a student gives you probably a lot more flexibility with your time than what you'll have when you graduate. You can experiment with your business in your free time without having all the pressure and obligations of the responsibilities that you'll probably have later in life. So even if you are really busy, take a step back and look at the little pockets of time that you might be able to use to start your own business. Now let's talk what is probably on your mind, which is how much money am I going to make running my own business? I think this truly depends how long you want to do this for. I posted my first crochet pattern on Etsy, so as a PDF, and then I made a social media post about it, and I immediately got my first sale through that, and I made $5, and it was the best moment of my entire life, I think. But how much you make really depends on the amount of time that you want to spend running your business. So I'd say for the first 8 months, I made around $200 to $500 a month, which that was okay at the time. But after that, I started to see like the continuous growth. Like after you make it out of your first year of business and it's a bit up and down, then once you stick it out, you'll be able to start seeing a bit of growth as you continue learning and improving. So by the time I had run my business for about a year and a half, I ended up starting to make about $4,000 and $6,000 a month, which was a lot more than I would have been making at the time working in a hospitality or retail job for the same amount of hours that I spent on my business. And because I chose to sell digital products, the amount of time that I was spending on my business at this point was probably only 10 to 20 hours a week. And the most important thing is I was really enjoying it. If you love working your current job, then there is no reason why you should stop doing it. I just really wanted to be able to learn new things while I was making money, and running this business gave me the opportunity to do that. So let's say you're working about 15 or so hours a week and you're making $26 an hour, working in retail or something along those lines. You'd end up earning $390 a week, or about $1,560 a month. So I was able to earn quadruple that amount for the same amount of time doing something that I loved. And I think that was also a huge motivation when it came to like earning money while I was a student, because I saw that the amount of hours that I was putting in was actually equaling a lot more than if I had just worked a normal job. Because when I started my business, I was a little bit nervous about doing something kind of unconventional. That's not necessarily the typical like high school student to university student path. But yeah, when you're actually being paid like a decent amount of money, working can be kind of fun. Okay, so next is that you will learn so much, and I feel like this point is often overlooked, so please stick around. I think I did not expect to learn anywhere near as much as I did while running my crochet business, but I learned how to create digital products, how to make my own website, how to research high-performing products, how to grow a business, and how to grow on social media to hundreds and thousands of followers, and so on, so on. I think learning these things at a young age can put you at a huge advantage for your career. A lot of the jobs that I've been able to get, like picking up freelancing on the side, that's all come through my experience that I gained by running a business. As well, my work ethic has genuinely improved to like a stupid amount since I've realized that actually working hard can mean that you do achieve your dreams and your dreams are not as far away as you think they are. And seeing it with my own eyes sort of proved to me that I'm not just working for no reason. My 1 cent crochet business is not going to be the last business that I ever make. Due to what I've learned from it, I guarantee I'll probably be starting up a new business sometime in the next year or so, just because I love the process so much. So another thing is that it will help build your confidence and self-esteem hugely, which is probably more important than you think it is. When I started 1 cent crochet, I was 16. I was in my final year of high school. I was a very anxious person and I did not believe in myself at all. But I proved to myself that I can build an audience from scratch, despite the fact that I knew literally nothing when I started out. But also, honestly, you'll probably start to believe that you can do basically anything. I mean, I've now achieved my childhood dream of receiving a play button from YouTube, which is literally right behind me. And I did that by the time I was 18. So I'm like, well, if I can achieve this childhood dream, what else can I achieve? This is really great for teenagers and people in their early 20s who don't really believe in themselves yet. And I think a lot of people in that age group probably don't. If you're watching this video and you're like, yeah, my self-esteem is not great, would highly recommend starting a business. As well, mental health wise, I have a lot less anxiety now going into new situations because running a business was so far outside of my comfort zone. And now I'm kind of used to trying new things because I've constantly been stepping outside of my comfort zone. And I'm so much happier than I was at the start, and having a big goal to focus on outside of my schoolwork has really helped me. My final point is that you probably have less to lose if you're a student. You're probably going to be able to learn a lot more without as much pressure from the people around you. When you're a kid, you're starting your business, your parents might go, oh yeah, like, okay, you're gonna sell bracelets, that's gonna be fun, like whatever. There's no expectations as such, or at least there wasn't in my family. There wasn't, okay, you need to be earning $5,000 a month to make this worth it. So I think being able to experiment more without as much pressure can really help, and you'll have time to recover from the mistakes that you inevitably will make. So if you're a student and you're thinking of starting a business and you're worried that you don't know enough, I promise now is the perfect time. And if you'd like to know a little bit more about running a business, go check out this video I made on the best business book I have ever read. Good luck on your entrepreneurial journey and see you next week.